Okay, so day 2 of my 30 days. It has been, this morning I was feeling thankful. So I was feeling in a place of, um, of gratitude, just being thankful. I was cooking breakfast for the kids, and I was feeling very thankful, like within myself. I was feeling thankful just for everything, just at that moment I was feeling thankful this morning. So I've been making decisions, lots of decisions, and just trying to really figure out what I need to do, where I need to go, just processing my life at this point of trying to gain a, a, a different way of thinking. So I have been holding on to something that I knew I should have been letting it go a long time ago. And I've come down to, I don't want to say a dire situation, but I've come down to a situation where now I have to make a decision. And this decision has pushed me to this place of, okay, you need to figure something out. So one of the things that I would really, really have loved to do, well, I would really like to do in my lifetime is just take an old car and fix it up and make it look nice and put it in a car show, have it in one of those car magazines, something, that would be my ideal dream, is to do something like that. So in my lifetime of having vehicles, I've had a couple of cars that have been older model cars that, I could have done that with, but I didn't. So, excuse me. So now I'm at a place of, uh, I have my other truck, and it wasn't working, and I just always had that little dream in the back of my head that, oh, I'm going to fix it one day. I'm going to fix it one day. So I just held on to it, held on to it, held on to it, and it's still not fixed. It's just sitting in the parking lot of my complex, and it's not drivable. Um, Freaking bees have probably made a nest inside of it. The kids have played inside of it and ran down the battery. So the car's just literally just sitting there. So about a couple of hours ago, I made a decision to junk the car. At the end of the day, I would have loved to have sold this car to one of those people that do car shows and just, made a good buck off of it, but it didn't happen. So now I have to junk the car. And I gotta tell you, at the moment that I made the phone call and I made the deal and I sealed the deal on them coming to pick up this car tomorrow, it was like so quick. Like it just went so quick, and I had to deal with my feelings. And so my oldest daughter was really driving the car, so I kind of passed the car on to her. Well, my other daughter, and I had to sit them down and tell them that the car is going to be gone. And, she kind of looked at me, and I got teary-eyed, like I was literally losing a puppy, like I was losing this animal or this relationship or whatever. But it was a car, like a vehicle, that a piece of metal. And I was getting emotional over having to let go of this vehicle. And it just struck me that there's so many things in our lives as humans that we hold on to, and we know we need to get rid of it because we know it's not going to benefit us at any point. It's not benefiting us. And we're trying to make it work, and we're trying to fix it, and we're trying to do little things to make it work. And then it's not working. So it's just sitting there. And there again, it becomes the comfortable place of being. I became comfortable with the fact that I owned 2 vehicles. Like I literally owned 2 vehicles. Car payments, insurance payments, but I owned 2 vehicles, and I prided myself on that. Like I literally prided myself on the fact that here I am. and I have two vehicles, not two small vehicles, but like two large SUV vehicles, that at the end of the day, what single woman you know? I mean, and if she does, it's, I mean, good for you, you know, yay, we made it. But I mean, I prided myself on that. And so it's kind of like us in our everyday lives. If you think about it, how many of us have certain items, certain people, certain issues in our lives that we choose to not deal with and get rid of or fix or whatever, and we just keep it and keep it in a comfortable place in our lives because we don't want to let it go. I kept this car for so long and I didn't want to let it go. And I knew it's not going to benefit me. It's not benefiting me because it's just sitting there. And I'm holding on to it because at the end of the day, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to get it fixed. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. And that was always something I would tell myself, I'm going to fix it. Every day I go out and check the mail. I look at the car and I'm thinking, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. It needs this. And I'm going over in my mind the things that it needs. But the reality is, I don't have the patience to fix this vehicle. I don't have the financial means at this point to fix this vehicle. I don't have the knowledge to fix this vehicle, not unless I depend on someone else to do this job for me, but then you'd have to hire somebody to do that. So today's issue is letting go. So of course, yesterday I dealt with the whole relationship thing, and I guess today it becomes now letting go. And because we've been in this comfortable place in our lives for so long, you know, sit back and ask yourself, what is it that you really have to let go of? What is it that you're just sitting on that you know at the end of the day, I gotta let it go? And I gotta tell you, a piece of metal literally had me here. I mean, just all up in here. I was like feeling emotional, like I got teary-eyed because I had to give up a car. A car. I mean, a piece of metal. So I know that if I can get emotional over a vehicle, I can imagine what some of you are going to get emotional over just having to get rid of some things in your life. And, you know, it's like we have to clean up and we have to get rid of things that are no longer going to fit us. And that could be a person, it could be an item, it can be um, anything, your weight, emotionally, mentally, just whatever it is that's within you that you know that you have to get rid of. I mean, man, if I got emotional over a vehicle, I mean, just imagine what a lot of us have been dealing with in just relationships, to where we literally are gonna, I mean, you guys got to get boxes of tissues for these things, because I mean, I literally was like, you know what? My first thought was at that moment, after I made the phone call, was I put in my head, I'll just call him tomorrow and I'll just tell him not to come. For a vehicle, for a car. How many of us do that in relationships or just in our everyday lives, where we make a decision at one point and then we renege because we don't want to let it go or because it means something to us? Having this vehicle meant something so great to me because it was my first vehicle that actually had air conditioning. Well, I don't want to say my first, but this vehicle meant so much to me because it was something that I wanted, and I got what I wanted, and when I got what I wanted, it served its purpose. And then after it served its purpose and it went through its ordeal, and the thing was is I didn't take care of it the way I should have taken care of it, or the way I should have taken care of it. I mean, it was my vehicle. I got into a car accident, and it got messed up because I didn't take care of it. So now I have to protect that thing. And so that's the thing that we have to think about. At a point in our lives, the very thing that we know we have to get rid of, or that we kind of have to let go, how great did we take care of that thing? Did we take care of it to the best of our abilities? Did we value it? Did we appreciate it? Did we tend to it the way it should have been tended to? So at the end of the day, I can honestly say no. With that vehicle, I didn't. But it makes me more aware of my relationships and how I deal with people and how I deal with myself, and how I deal with the materialistic things that we have in our lives, whether it be our cars, our clothes, our shoes. How well do we value those things? And how well do we value ourselves? How well do we value our friendships? How well do we value our relationships? Whether you're in a marriage, whether you're in just a monogamous relationship, whether you're just kind of starting out in your relationships. How well do we value those things when at that point it's time for us to give it up? So today I was thankful, and then I became emotional because I had to give up something that I had for so long, since 2006. So for 6 years, I've had this vehicle, and out of those 6, 2 of those years, the car's just been sitting. So it's something that we all need to think about. I mean, I know it's crazy that we're going through this process, or, if you are going through this process with me, it's something that we need to think about every day in our lives. Valuing ourselves and learning to let go of things that have just we've been holding hostage, and we've just been hoarding and keeping when we really don't need it. And it's not going to make us feel any better. It's not going to serve us any purpose to have the things that we have that we really don't need. So, I don't know. That's just something that came up. So, like I said, I'm at this point of I'm listening to the universe and the energies that are around, and that is what came up today. And that was the thing that stuck out the most for me was dealing with that thing that we really have to get rid of. And it kind of all comes together because I was talking to my friend on the phone, and she made a comment about this guy, and he sends I call it his spokesman, because he talked a lot about who he was, and and I know she felt for him, but at the end of the day, when he gets there, he's not who he says he is. So now she has to send him back to where he was because it just didn't fit. It wasn't working for her. What he was doing was not what he said he was going to do, and it just didn't fit her life. So at the end of the day, I'm thankful that this change is coming, and I'm excited. Today I was thankful, I was excited, I was emotional. It was just all of these things, and I'm talking to my friend on the phone, and I'm realizing that all of these things come together at the end. And everything that we go through, at the end of the day, it comes to that point where either you get it or you don't get it. And if you don't get it, you probably have to rewind through the day to get it. But I got it today. I was thankful for what I had. I realized that there are people out there that'll send a spokesperson into your life, and they'll tell you certain things, and then I realized that I have to give up some things because I'm holding on to them when it really is not serving me, or it's not doing me any good, and I really don't need it anymore. So at the end of the day, that's just something that I've had to, that I'm it's come full circle. this whole message has come full circle from this morning up until right now. So I'm glad it's happening. I'm excited about this. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but I'm excited about tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm so excited about it that I can't wait to get on here and do this. I mean, I would love to do more than one video. Maybe I should, because I'm running into, like, you know, it's going to be a long, because I'm long-winded probably, but I'm just excited about this change. So on that note, speak positive, think positive, be positive, and start cleaning up your life, you know, kind of do a checklist of what you should have, what needs to be there, what you don't need, and start going through your life and kind of getting rid of some things that you really don't need. And I don't know, we'll see how tomorrow goes, and I hope you guys are following along, you know, and are excited for this change as well. I mean, I'm all smiles today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm all smiles today. But this is going to be good. It's going to be good. So, all right. Have a good night, and we will see you mañana.